India, a nation on the brink of becoming a superpower, having overtaken China to become the world's most populous country. Its role in human progress cannot be underestimated. With a civilization among the oldest known to humanity, India has played a pivotal role on the world stage for thousands of years. When we talk about India, the iconic Taj Mahal or Bollywood movies often spring to mind. Yet beyond these world-renowned symbols lies a land of striking contrasts. On one hand, you'll be enchanted by the magnificence of ancient temples and the breathtaking natural landscapes that span the subcontinent. The nation's flora and fauna are equally remarkable, with species found nowhere else on Earth. On the other hand, you might encounter sad realities: open sewage, people defecating in the open, and mounds of trash accumulating in some areas. There are few countries that display such a stark divide between rich and poor, where hunger and luxury coexist side by side. But make no mistake, India is poised to become a 21st century economic powerhouse. In 2023, the nation surged ahead of China, presenting a compelling alternative for investors and consumer brands seeking growth, as well as manufacturers aiming to reduce risks in their supply chains. The question now is, can India reclaim its position as one of the wealthiest nations, as it was in centuries past? Back in the 1700s, India held an astonishing 27% share of the global economy, more than all of Europe combined. During this golden era, the nation was renowned for its industrial and manufacturing prowess, outshining any in Europe or Asia. The land was adorned with magnificent architecture and populated by great merchants, businessmen, bankers, and financiers. India was not only a leading shipbuilding nation, but its commerce and trade reached every corner of the civilized world. All of that changed when the British colonized India. The India that once inspired the world had been systematically unmade. The golden days were over. The nation was drained of its wealth and stifled by a sordid system of misrule. But who knows? We might be living in a generation that will witness this country reclaim its former glory. However, beyond its financial wealth, the true treasure of this nation lies in its unique and rich history. This ancient land has been the site of some of the most astounding archaeological discoveries ever made, finds that have shaken the very foundations of the scientific community. So, let's pull back the curtain and unravel these mysterious discoveries that baffled scientists worldwide. Land of Warriors. In 2005, a humble farmer from the village of Sinauli in Uttar Pradesh's Bagpat district was going about his daily routine, plowing his field. Little did he know, he was on the brink of a remarkable discovery. As his plow struck something unusual, he unearthed an ancient treasure trove, revealing copper pots and long-buried skeletons. Carbon dating revealed that the 116 burial sites found in the area were around 4,000 years old. When the excavation project resumed in 2018, the archaeologists made even more startling discoveries: copper shields and 3 ancient chariots. These findings challenged long-held beliefs and compelled experts to re-examine widely accepted historical narratives. Western scholars had always said that chariots and weapons came to India with the Aryan invasion, changing society and leading to the creation of the Vedas. But the finds at Sinauli told a completely different story, making everyone rethink what they thought they knew. These discoveries reveal the warrior nature of the Sinauli tribe. Among the unearthed treasures were weapons with ornate hilts and even a copper helmet. These excavations now stand as the earliest record of a warrior tribe in the subcontinent. The findings make it clear that these people were not migrants, but indigenous warriors with a culture uniquely their own, distinct from the Harappan civilization. The discovery of the chariot dating back to the 2nd millennium BC was like seeing a myth come to life. These vehicles were discovered buried alongside fallen warriors. Until this find, chariots in India were known only from ancient texts. Even more fascinating was that the type of wood used to craft these chariots matched the descriptions found in the Vedas. All 3 chariots are 2-wheeled and lightweight, with a D-shaped chassis beautifully adorned with copper decorations. Built for a single rider, these chariots showcase extraordinary craftsmanship. While more research is necessary, Many experts are now considering the possibility that the chariot may have been invented in India itself. Temple built by giants. Did giants roam ancient India? The locals of Lepakshi in Andhra Pradesh certainly think so. As a matter of fact, they strongly believe that their temple, known as Virabhadra Temple, was built by giants. This temple is a stunning example of ancient Indian architecture. Carved from rock, this stone marvel tells the story of the great Vijayanagara Empire. Dedicated to Lord Virabhadra, it showcases timeless art, featuring beautiful frescoes and murals. However, beyond its stunning beauty lies an origin steeped in mystery and intrigue. While archaeologists assert that the temple was built a mere 500 years ago, the locals hold a different story close to their hearts. They believe that the temple was constructed in a much earlier era by gods of immense stature, giants who once walked the earth. The most striking evidence the locals present is a massive footprint found within the temple, believed to belong to a giant towering between 25 to 35 feet. Yet, the tale doesn't end there. Just 500 meters from the Lepakshi temple stands another testament to their claims, a colossal bull sculpture. This isn't merely any bull, it's the largest carving of the Indian bull, or Nandi, in the world. Carved from a single rock, this awe-inspiring bull stands nearly 15 feet tall and stretches 27 feet long. The most intriguing part of this Nandi is that it stands alone. According to sacred Indian architecture, every bull must be paired with a lingam, and ancient texts confirm that the bull should be carved in front of a lingam. So why would the ancient builders create the world's largest bull and forget the lingam, the main deity? The answer to this mystery lies within the temple walls, where a gigantic lingam stands. This towering lingam, nearly 12 feet tall, is guarded by a 7-headed naga. These structures don't support the theory just because of their gigantic size, but rather on how these are being worshipped in the old days, as described by ancient Vedic texts. In a long-forgotten ritual of worshipping the lingam, devotees would place 2 fingers on the horns of Nandi and gaze through this frame to view the sacred lingam. Hindus faithfully practiced this tradition for centuries, up until recent times. This was the true purpose of the bull. Now, if you climb onto the colossal bull and peer through its 2 horns, you'll see the enormous lingam perfectly framed. This alignment not only confirms the bull's connection to the lingam, but suggests something even more astonishing. The race that crafted these magnificent carvings must have been tall enough to view the lingam through the horns. Given that the bull stands at 15 feet high, these ancient builders must have been towering around 30 feet tall. Proponents of this theory argue that the lingam and the bull were created by a race of giants, while the newer temple was built within the last 500 years. They point to the difference in architectural styles as evidence. The original builders employed a monolithic architecture, crafting both the lingam and the bull from single rocks, making them not only much larger than everything else, but also unique in their construction. In contrast, the newer temple architecture is quite different, suggesting a more recent origin. Unhygienic street food. Are you one of those who binged-watch those unhygienic, almost disgusting ways of preparing street foods in India? These clips have captivated audiences to such an extent that they've painted the entire country's street food scene with a brush of infamy, making dirty street food almost synonymous with India in the eyes of many. Street vendors frequently serve food using their bare hands, without gloves, water for washing, or aprons for protection. They usually add flair with tricks and flashy moves, making the experience more fun for customers, but often at the expense of cleanliness. You'll also notice flies and pests hanging around the food stalls, which adds to the contamination risk. While this may seem unacceptable to many, locals believe that their resilience has been bolstered by their street food experiences. It's affordable, quicker than fast food, and readily available, making it a vital part of their daily lives. This thriving industry provides a decent livelihood for many, with some food vendors earning as much as entry-level software engineers in the country. As you wander through the lively streets of India, you're met with a vibrant array of street foods, each a testament to the country's rich culinary heritage. Would you be willing to try it out when you're in India? World's biggest snake. For a long time, we thought Titanoboa was the biggest snake ever. But everything changed when scientists from the Indian Institute of Technology made an incredible find in Kutch, Gujarat. They discovered 27 pieces of a backbone at the Pandro coal mine, and it turned out to be from an even bigger snake. In homage to the mythical snake associated with Lord Shiva, they named this colossal reptile Vasuki Indicus. For years it was thought that the fossils were from a massive crocodile. However, it has turned out to be one of the largest snakes that ever existed on Earth, believed to be longer than the T-Rex, the famous dinosaur. Experts estimate that this snake could have been anywhere between 11 to 15 meters long. This massive serpent likely lived around 47 million years ago during the Middle Eocene period, when the Earth was vastly different from what we know today. Back then, Africa, India, and South America were all part of a single supercontinent called Gondwanaland. However, the scientists didn't find its skull, so it's a bit unclear what its head looked like. Scientists believe that the snake would have resembled a large python, like the ones we see today, and would not have been venomous. Like modern pythons and anacondas, Vasuki Indicus likely killed its prey by wrapping its body around them and suffocating them. While scientists aren't sure what Vasuki ate, given its massive size, it's likely it fed on crocodiles. Researchers say Vasuki was part of the Maddasoidae snake family, which showed up around 90 million years ago. This snake family was pretty dominant during the last days of the dinosaurs, but went extinct about 12 million years ago. Perhaps we should be relieved that it vanished completely. Aryan migration invasion theory debunked. You've probably heard of the Mesopotamian or Egyptian civilizations, right? But chances are you're not as familiar with the Indus Valley or Harappan civilization. It's understandable. Despite being one of the earliest and most advanced urban civilizations in the world, it never quite reached the same level of fame as its ancient counterparts in the East. This ancient civilization spanned parts of present-day Iran, Pakistan, India, and Afghanistan, and flourished approximately around 9,000 years ago. It accomplished numerous milestones that put it ahead of its time, such as creating intricate water supply systems, constructing two-story houses, and designing complex pools. It did all of this long before any other nation had developed the technology to do so. But around 1300 BC, this civilization suddenly disappeared. This unexpected disappearance left scientists scratching their heads and coming up with different theories to explain what happened. One of the more well-known theories was put forward by Sir Mortimer Wheeler, known as the Aryan migration invasion theory. According to this theory, the once great Harappan civilization met its abrupt end when foreigners from the north migrated to India and settled in the Indus Valley and Ganges Plain between 1800 and 1500 BC. These newcomers, who spoke Indo-European languages, were called Aryans, meaning noble people in Sanskrit. It's believed that these Aryans invaded and massacred the people of this civilization, leading to its eventual downfall. This theory gained traction due to the discovery of human skeletons found in the ruins of Mohenjo-Daro when excavations began in the 1920s. These remains were found in strange positions, leading some experts to believe that they were victims of an unconventional burial ritual or were attempting to flee from something or someone. But there was a flaw with this theory. There were no signs of burned fortresses or remains of weapons and armor in the site. However, recent DNA analysis of skeletons found in Rakhigarhi village, Haryana, has debunked this theory once and for all. The skeletal remains discovered in the upper part of the citadel area of Mohenjo-Daro belonged to individuals who perished due to floods, not an Aryan invasion. The revelation didn't stop here. It also proved that farming was indigenous to India, contradicting the earlier belief that it was introduced through migrations from Iran. Most haunted place. If you're a fan of good old-fashioned ghost stories, then surely a visit to Rajasthan's Bhangarh Fort would be a treat for you. As a matter of fact, it's considered as one of the most haunted places in India. The fort is located in the Alwar district of Rajasthan. Built in the 17th century by Raja Bhagwant Das, the ruler of Amber, for his younger son Madho Singh, it was once a thriving city. Until 1720, Bhangarh boasted over 9,000 houses alongside the royal palace. Now the fort lies in ruins, with vines and foliage creeping over its walls. Known for its stunning architecture and beautiful surroundings, the fort also has a darker side, with legends and myths claiming it's a cursed place. According to a popular local lore, a beautiful princess named Ratnavati attracted many royal suitors. A wizard, skilled in black magic, fell in love with her and tried to trap her with a love potion disguised as a scent. The princess saw through the trick and threw the potion onto a nearby boulder, which then rolled towards the wizard and crushed him to death. With his dying breath, the wizard cursed the city, predicting its doom. Not long after, Mughal forces invaded, killing everyone in the fort, including Princess Ratnavati. Because of these eerie legends, the fort is off-limits to visitors before sunrise and after sunset. It's said that anyone brave enough to stay in the fort at night would face terrible misfortune. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer in the supernatural, Bhangarh Fort is a must-visit when you're in India. Its stunning architecture and rich history make it an unforgettable experience. Wealthiest religious shrine. In the heart of Kerala, India, lies the wealthiest religious institution in the world. Yes, richer than the Vatican, the Sri Padmanabhaswamy Temple. The temple's treasures are estimated to be worth around $40 billion, and that's just their material value. Many of these items are ancient antiques with priceless historical significance. This ancient temple houses 6 vaults, but one chamber remains locked and heavily guarded until today. Why? Built in the 8th century AD by King Anujam Thirunal Marthandavarma of Travancore, this temple is one of the oldest and most important in Hinduism. Over the years, the Travancore royal family and other monarchs have continually improved and expanded this sacred place. But it had been a subject of national controversy. It all started when an individual working at the temple became alarmed by the mishandling of the temple's finances and decided to bring this issue before the court. As a response, the court ordered an inventory of the temple assets. When officials started the challenging task of unsealing 6 mysterious vaults that had been locked beneath the temple for centuries, they were blown away by what they discovered. The first 5 vaults revealed treasures beyond belief: sparkling diamonds, luxurious golden thrones, and a massive 1,100-pound gold chain. When auditors got to the 6th vault, known as Vault B, they were met with an eerie sight. Massive doors adorned with images of cobras. It was like a warning sign, similar to a skull and crossbones. The cobras were depicted as huge, fierce creatures capable of deadly harm. Because of this, Vault B was deemed off-limits. Temple priests strongly believe that dire consequences would befall anyone who dares to open it. According to legends, the chamber is rumored to be cursed. Venturing beyond this point is impeded by the presence of cobras, known as nagas, the mythical serpents in Hinduism. It is said that the door was sealed using a Nagapasam mantra, a spell-like incantation that effectively locked it through the power of the Nagas. Additionally, it can only be unlocked by a highly skilled and knowledgeable sadhu who possesses an intimate understanding of the Garuda mantra. It's a powerful Hindu mantra dedicated to Lord Garuda, half man, half bird with wings creature. It's warned that trying to forcefully open it without using this sacred mantra, or by using man-made technology, could lead to disasters in and around the temple, across India, and even around the world. This warning finds support in past unsuccessful attempts, such as the incident in 1931, when a group of individuals, attempting to unlock the vaults, were compelled to flee due to the sudden presence of cobras. Hence, even to this day, the secrets of Vault B remain untouched and undiscovered. Ancient aerospace technology. What if thousands of years ago, long before we even conceived the idea of flight, aircraft were already soaring in the skies of India? This notion might not be as far-fetched as it initially seems. According to ancient Vedic texts, gods descended from the sky in flying vehicles called vimanas. These 1,000-year-old texts offer detailed descriptions of these vimanas, including their appearance, how they traveled, and what was required to pilot them. These extraordinary flying machines were said to be used in warfare, capable of flying within Earth's atmosphere, traveling into space, and even navigating underwater. For some experts, these vimanas were real, tangible aircraft, believed to have been used by ancient astronauts. According to them, we don't need to look far for evidence. The shape of the stupas scattered throughout the country is proof enough. Where did this unique design originate? Experts suggest that these structures were modeled after vimanas. Just as we draw inspiration from our surroundings for our designs, the ancient builders of stupas did the same. They crafted stone structures to mimic what they saw in the sky. Many Hindu temples feature architectural elements that echo this celestial inspiration, with their upper sections often resembling flying objects, or vimanas. This poses an intriguing question. Are we rediscovering sophisticated technologies that existed millennia ago?
When we talk about Vietnam, oftentimes it's the remarkable story of how this relatively small nation valiantly stood against the formidable United States in the Vietnam War that immediately captures our imagination. However, human settlement in this region stretches back approximately 22,000 years. Thereby, our focus shouldn't be limited to this single event from the mid-20th century. There are a lot of reasons to fall in love with this Southeast Asian nation, and its breathtaking beauty would top that list. It's no wonder that it ranks as a top destination on any traveler's journey through Asia. From the awe-inspiring vistas of Halong Bay to the surreal landscapes of Ninh Binh, this country offers an array of natural wonders guaranteed to leave you spellbound. Spanning over 330,000 square kilometers, the country shares its northern boundary with China, while the South China Sea flanks it to the east and south. To the southwest lies the Gulf of Thailand, and its western borders meet with Cambodia and Laos. This strategic geographical location makes the country a pivotal player on the world stage when it comes to global security and trade. As one of the most rapidly growing economies in Southeast Asia, it's on the brink of emerging as a formidable contender to China, positioning itself as the next major hub for global manufacturing. But the competitive dynamic between Vietnam and China is not limited to economic aspects. Vietnam is also among the Southeast Asian nations engaged in a dispute with China over territorial claims in the South China Sea. The country's intricate relationship with its formidable neighbor has historical roots stretching back over a millennium. The origins of this complex dynamic can be traced back to the period when the Han Dynasty extended its control over the region that is now northern Vietnam. It was in 939 that the country was finally able to achieve independence from China. However, Vietnam's battles with powerful adversaries were far from over. The subsequent chapters of its history were marked by continuous foreign dominations and a succession of intense resistance conflicts against Dutch, French, and American forces, underscoring Vietnam's unyielding resolve and commitment to preserve its independence. This indomitable spirit is still evident today in its firm resolve to protect every inch of its territory. One thing that you'll immediately notice when visiting this country is that motorbikes rule its roads. Often referred to as the country of motorcycles, it boasts an estimated 45 million motorbikes. This widespread use of motorbikes is a practical response to the challenges of high vehicle taxes and the bustling, narrow streets that define its urban landscape. Beyond the ubiquitous motorbikes, the lotus flower stands as a quintessential symbol of Vietnam, encapsulating the essence of its people like no other. The lotus grows beautifully out of muddy water, just like how its people stay strong and show their best side, no matter how tough things get. With a history that ranks among the oldest and most uninterrupted globally, it's no shock that this country has been the site of groundbreaking discoveries, revolutionizing our grasp of history. Let's dive into these astonishing revelations that have sent ripples through the scientific community, offering unprecedented insights into the ancient world. World's largest cave. It was in 1990 when a local logger, Ho Khan, accidentally stumbled on a concealed entrance to a vast cave hidden by the dense foliage of the jungle. As he neared the opening, he observed clouds emerging from it and heard the unmistakable roar of a river echoing from within. The cliffs were too sheer to descend, prompting him to simply mark the spot. It took nearly 20 years later before the British Cave Research Association embarked on an expedition to save the cave, uncovering a marvel beyond imagination. What was uncovered is a cave unparalleled on the planet. This cave, estimated to be around 3 million years old, boasts the largest cave chamber known to exist. With the stature of a 40-story skyscraper, it encompasses an ancient forest and is traversed by a vigorous river. Its colossal size even supports a localized weather system within. Venturing inside offers an ethereal experience, almost as if stepping through a portal to another dimension. Stretching nearly 6 miles beneath the Earth's surface, parts of the cave have openings in the ceiling where sunlight pours in, nurturing the growth of trees and other plant life. However, the cave holds more than just plant and animal life. It is steeped in local lore, with stories of unusual inhabitants hiding within its deep recesses. Local residents near the cave report encounters with entities that bear a striking resemblance to reptilian humanoids. There are also accounts of explorers who vanished within the cave, possibly taken by these mysterious beings. Intriguingly, locals liken them to the seraphim, or winged serpents found in Kabbalistic lore, which suggests these celestial beings chose the inner earth as their sanctuary. Further deepening the mystery, there are narratives from the Vietnam War era in the 1970s where U.S. soldiers reported encounters with creatures they described as bipedal lizards lurking in the depths of various caves. One particularly remarkable account is that of a U.S. patrol force who claimed that they'd stumbled upon the remnants of massive structures composed of large stones and boulders at a cave's entrance, seemingly sculpted from the rock itself. A strong odor and a dense mist emanated from the area, causing the patrol to halt and examine their surroundings carefully. They weren't prepared and taken aback for what followed next. Serpent-like beings emerged, towering at 7 feet tall and emitting eerie hissing noises. Their appearance was striking, with scaly, glossy, dark skin and snake-like faces featuring prominently set, large eyes. They were clad in long, dark green robes and wore dark, cap-like headgear. As the confrontation unfolded, these beings mysteriously disappeared, possibly becoming invisible, shifting dimensions, or employing some form of rapid mimicry or shape-shifting. The patrol, taking no chances, sealed the cave with explosives and made their way back to base, leaving behind a tale of an extraordinary encounter. This leads us to a thought-provoking question. Is it possible that this colossal cave acts as a gateway to an inner Earth domain inhabited by these mysterious beings? Ho Dynasty Citadel. The ancient imperial city of the Ho Dynasty, revered as the oldest in Southeast Asia, boasts a citadel of remarkable distinction. Its unique stone architecture commands admiration, standing as a testament to the ingenuity and artistic prowess of its builders. Subsequent excavations at the site have revealed the expansive scale of its architectural blueprint. Archaeologists have unearthed 10 substantial structures and numerous gates, indicating that these could be the remnants of what is potentially the oldest main palace in Vietnam ever discovered. Some of the structures within the inner citadel were the main palace, eastern and western royal temples, and smaller palaces dedicated to the administrative functions of the ancient dynasty. The citadel's stone walls were ingeniously constructed to withstand earthquakes, standing at an impressive average height of 5 meters. As a testament to the engineering prowess of ancient Vietnamese, they assembled these massive stones, each weighing up to 20 tons, without the use of cements. But what baffled scientists is how they were able to accomplish the task in just 3 months. Adding to the intrigue is the mystery of how they transported these massive stones to the construction site. The architects behind the citadel meticulously fortified its structure, ensuring it stood as a towering symbol of the dynasty's might and governance. In addition to the 4 gates guarding the Ho Citadel, a strategic canal encircled the fortress, serving as an additional barrier, reinforcing its impenetrability. But the backstory of the construction of these architectural marvels is as fascinating as the structures themselves. During the tumultuous times of the late 14th century, with the Tran dynasty in decline, Ho Kuai Li, who was then a regent for Emperor Tran Thuong Tong in Thanglong, devised a scheme to seize the throne. In a remarkable display of ambition and efficiency, he commissioned the construction of this new citadel in 1397, completing it in a short span of time, an incredible achievement given the lack of modern construction technology at the time. Ho Kuai Li lured Emperor Tran Thuong Tong to the newly built citadel under false pretenses, then imprisoned and executed him to declare himself the first emperor of the Ho dynasty in 1400. However, his reign was short-lived. After a year, he handed power to his son, Ho Han Thuong, whose rule lasted only 6 years before the Ming dynasty from China overtook the Ho dynasty. The dynasty's era may have been brief, yet it gifted future generations with an awe-inspiring architectural legacy, whose magnificence remains admired and cherished today. 10,000-year-old human remains. Human history in this country stretches back millennia, a claim further solidified by the remarkable find of 10,000-year-old skeletal remains in Henan province in the northern region. This discovery stands as a groundbreaking first for the country. The excavation revealed 3 graves, each holding the remains of individuals, ranging from children to adults, all buried in a unique kneeling posture. The team also found mollusk shells and teeth from small animals, suggesting these were part of the diet of the ancient residents. The stone implements unearthed, while not large in size, display traits in craftsmanship linked to the Hoa Binh culture, a cultural period in northern Vietnam that spans from around 15,000 years ago to around 2000 BC. These artifacts reveal the advanced skills and craftsmanship of this ancient community, highlighting their everyday activities like hunting and tool making. These insights not only connect us to their daily lives, but also trace the origins of modern Vietnamese heritage. 2,000-year-old curry outside India. India is the home of curry, but a groundbreaking discovery reveals that this beloved dish was also savored in Vietnam 2,000 years ago. Unearthed at the Ok Eo site in southern Vietnam, this revelation has dramatically altered our perception of ancient spice trade routes and culinary traditions across Southeast Asia. The discovery of a grinding slab and stone tools at the site, bearing traces of ancient spices, has illuminated the components of this age-old cuisine. Analysis revealed microscopic fragments of cinnamon hailing from Sri Lanka and nutmeg from the distant Banda Islands of eastern Indonesia, embedded in 12 unique sandstone grinding tools. Furthermore, the excavation brought to light remnants of coconut, rice residues, and remarkably preserved seeds, providing rich insight into the rich culinary heritage of the era. Furthermore, this discovery suggests that even thousands of years ago, communities beyond the borders of India possessed a sophisticated palate for curry flavors, evidenced by their elaborate culinary practices. In ancient times, spices were highly valued commodities within the global trade network, acting as cultural bridges that connected disparate civilizations and forged lasting culinary traditions. This discovery provides solid evidence, underscoring the critical role that spices played in shaping the history of global exchange and cultural integration. Ancient stone field. Within the lush expanse of Lao Cai's Muang Hoa Valley, there exists mysterious rock slabs adorned with age-old carvings. Scientific investigations have established that the site, referred to as the Ancient Stone Field, encompasses a history that stretches across numerous centuries. Perhaps you're wondering, what's so special about these stones? These are no mere rocks. They are veiled in mysteries that remain unsolved by scientists. Foremost, although the rock slabs are scattered at random, it appears as though ancient hands might have arranged them with specific intent. The way these stones are arranged is very mysterious. Sometimes you find stones with carvings right next to plain stones that look the same but have no carvings. Why some stones were carved and others were not is something that scientists still can't figure out. This leads us to an intriguing question. Were these stones intentionally positioned by the region's ancient inhabitants? And if so, what could have been their motives? Besides the unexplainable organization of these stones, the images drawn on them also become the subject of several researches. There are decorations, such as houses of stilt, terraced fields, humanoid, and even the vestige of writings. However, it also has a wide range of vague decorations that countless researchers and visitors yearn to decipher. Despite numerous studies having been done, nobody, however, has found concrete proof of the stone's origins. The artists behind the drawings still remain anonymous, just as the meaning behind the drawings still remains a mystery. However, the Vietnamese Institute of Historical Research has some interesting theories. According to them, these patterns may have existed for at most 900 years, originating around the 11th and 12th centuries AD. The purpose of these drawings are still hotly contested. One researcher suggested that these patterns were the local people's village map, while Vietnamese researcher Vu Ngoc Lien decoded them as the way to record ancient astronomy. Some experts even argue that the carvings are the primitive handwriting of the ancient Vietnamese. Unraveling this mystery might be a journey of patience and persistence. As we eagerly await new discoveries, we stand ready to uncover the new secrets hidden in this fascinating land.
Japan is a land of extremes. Nestled on the volatile Pacific Ring of Fire, it has endured some of the most violent natural disasters the world has ever witnessed. The archipelago still shows the scars of its tumultuous birth, a volcanic land emerging from the ocean depths. On the other hand, Japan's geographic location has also gifted it with unparalleled natural beauty. With over 14,000 islands, the Japanese archipelago is a haven of natural wonders, featuring pristine beaches, majestic mountains, and breathtaking landscapes. This stunning scenery has not only made Japan a dream destination for travelers from around the globe, but also inspired countless masterpieces and the keeper of many intriguing mysteries. But the reasons to visit this country extend far beyond its natural wonders. The country is also famous for its fascination with quirky and unusual things you won't find anywhere else on the planet. In the bustling streets of Tokyo, you can stumble upon whimsical themed cafes where you dine with owls. Or perhaps you'd like to pay a visit to a cute poop museum. Japan's eccentricities don't stop there. Vending machines dispense everything from used panties to canned bread, and you'll find cartoon versions of everything imaginable. It's no wonder that it earned the moniker as the Disney-like Fantasyland. However, don't let Japan's quirky charms fool you into not taking it seriously. As one of the oldest and most vibrant cultures on Earth, Japan has made groundbreaking discoveries that have reshaped our understanding of history and harbors mysteries that continue to baffle scientists to this day. Let's now start unraveling these discoveries, shall we? Haunted Japanese doll. We'll go back in time to 1918 in northern Japan. A young man named Eikichi Suzuki came across a small 16-inch doll dressed in a kimono. Instantly captivated, he purchased the doll and presented it to his 2-year-old sister, Kikuko. She cherished the doll deeply, even naming it after herself, calling it Okiku. A year later, Japan was struck by a devastating yellow fever epidemic, claiming many lives, including Kikuko's. Heartbroken, the family buried her and placed the beloved doll in their family's shrine, a traditional practice to honor the deceased. Regularly paying their respects, they noticed something uncanny one day. Okiku's hair, originally a neat shoulder-length bob, had grown into a shaggy mass reaching down to its knees. Perplexed and unable to explain the phenomenon, the family cut the doll's hair and returned it to the shrine. Yet, the hair grew back again and again, necessitating repeated, eerie trims. The family began to believe that Kikuko's spirit had taken residence in the doll. In 1938, facing a move to another district, they decided not to take Okiku with them, fearing the doll's mysterious hair-growing ability was tied to its proximity to Kikuko's grave. They entrusted the doll to the Menenji Temple in Hokkaido, where it remains to this day. Monks at the temple claim Okiku's hair continues to grow, and they still trim it regularly. And if Okiku's story isn't creepy enough, some visitors swear they have seen her mouth gradually opening, revealing what appears to be human teeth. It's worth noting that during the early 20th century, many parts of Japan were rural and steeped in folklore. Stories of spirits and supernatural occurrences were common, and dolls were often seen as vessels of magic. Although Okiku's growing hair might be dismissed as mere folklore, scientific analysis has uncovered that the hair is indeed real human hair. Today, Okiku is housed in a private shrine at the Maninji Temple, with all photography of the doll strictly prohibited. This restriction means scientists may never fully unravel the mystery of Okiku's hair. But one thing's clear: in Japan, you don't want to mess with their dolls. Prehistoric sea monster. In the depths of the Aridagawa River in Wakayama Prefecture on Honshu Island, Japanese scientists made an astonishing discovery. They unearthed the near-complete skeleton of a colossal sea monster, rivaling the size of a great white shark. This fearsome beast, which terrorized the ancient oceans, is unlike any aquatic creature we've ever seen, living or extinct. These fossils are from a newly discovered species of mosasaur, an air-breathing marine reptile that ruled the oceans as a top predator around 72 million years ago during the Cretaceous period. This species has been officially named Megapterygius wakayamensis and has been affectionately nicknamed the Wakayama Soryu, drawing inspiration from the blue aquatic dragons of Japanese mythology. This fearsome sea predator exhibited a fascinating blend of features: a dolphin-like body, 4 paddle-like flippers, an alligator-shaped snout, and a long, powerful tail. Unlike any other mosasaur, it also had a dorsal fin reminiscent of those found on sharks and dolphins. What really puzzled researchers, though, was that its rear flippers were longer than the front ones. This is not only a first for mosasaurs, but also extremely rare among all known aquatic species, whether living or extinct. For the last 20 million years of their reign, these mosasaurs were the ocean's equivalent of Tyrannosaurus rex, dominating the marine food chain with ruthless efficiency. Any prey unfortunate enough to cross their path would be swiftly devoured by their powerful jaws, lined with dozens of razor-sharp teeth. If they existed today, they would undoubtedly be the stuff of nightmares. Mysterious ancient weapon. In 2019, the world watched as Emperor Naruhito ascended to Japan's chrysanthemum throne, marking a historic moment. Central to this grand ceremony were the sacred imperial regalia, including the legendary Kusanagi no Tsurugi. This sword is one of the most mysterious in the world, with no one having been able to lay his eyes upon it since the 12th century. Even during imperial ceremonies, this revered artifact remains cloaked in carefully wrapped packages. Its elusive nature has fueled speculation over the years, leading to theories that it might have been lost, stolen, or replaced with a replica. As one of Japan's esteemed trio of imperial treasures, alongside the mirror Yata no Kagami and the jewel Yasakani no Magatama, it not only signifies the legitimacy of Japan's imperial line, but also holds a profound place in Japanese mythology. The Japanese imperial family, once believed to be direct descendants of the gods, are the guardians of this legendary sword. Though its true origins remain veiled in mystery, historians generally agree that the sword has been passed down through generations of the imperial family, playing a crucial role in the enthronement of emperors and other sacred ceremonies. According to legend, the sword was given to Yamato Takeru, a renowned warrior prince and son of Japan's 12th emperor, who lived during the 1st and 2nd centuries. Renowned for his strategic prowess, he once famously disguised himself as a maidservant to surprise his enemies during a festive gathering, showcasing his cunning abilities. We learn about his adventures from ancient texts like the Kojiki and Nihon Shoki, dating back to 711 AD. He was a trusted ally of his father and was ordered to pacify rebellious tribes in the east. During a visit to the Ise shrine to honor the sun goddess Amaterasu, he crossed paths with his aunt, the high priestess Yamatohime, who entrusted him with the Kusanagi no Tsurugi. The sword proved to be an indispensable asset during his conquests, its legendary power tested in a dramatic moment. Surrounded by enemies in a field engulfed in flames, he wielded the Kusanagi no Tsurugi with skill and determination. Miraculously, he carved a path through the blazing grass, saving his life and turning the tide of battle in his favor. This bold feat etched its place in history, forever branding the sword with its evocative nickname, the grass-cutting sword. In modern Japan, the sword is revered as a mystical relic, much like Britain's crown jewels. While its origins remain mysterious, many speculate that the Kusanagi no Tsurugi is still hidden somewhere in the country. Some even suggest that Japan's government may be safeguarding it, possibly viewing it as a covert strategic asset, a secret weapon kept away from public eyes. Deformed skulls. The Hirota people, who occupied a Japanese island for around 400 years, deliberately flattened the back of their children's heads. This unique practice of cranial deformation has experts baffled as to its purpose. Infant skulls were bound or pressed flat, a practice applied to all children regardless of social rank or gender. By today's standards, this custom would be considered quite shocking. In the 1950s and early 2000s, a large grave site revealed the skulls of the Hirota people. Unearthed alongside them were hundreds of skeletons adorned with glass beads, pendants, bracelets, and shell beads, indicating that the Hirota were of high status and engaged in extensive trade with other cultures. Researchers studying these skulls remain unsure of the rationale behind this practice of cranial deformation. One theory is that it helped preserve group identity. The uniquely flattened skulls were a distinct feature of their culture, setting them apart from other groups. Another possibility is that cranial deformation facilitated long-distance trade. The Hirota people engaged in commerce with cultures from other parts of Japan and as far as Southeast Asia. The distinctive flattened skulls may have signified wealth and status, helping the Hirota establish and maintain trade relationships with other cultures. Regardless of the reasons, this practice reveals that even in ancient times, our ancestors were already altering physical appearances to suit their objectives. Japan's aging problem. Japan holds the record for having the highest proportion of elderly citizens in the world. While many developed countries are grappling with declining birth rates, Japan's situation is particularly urgent. According to the World Bank, Japan has the world's second highest percentage of people aged 65 and over, only behind Monaco. Nearly a third of Japan's population, about 36.23 million people, are over 65, and centenarians are more numerous than ever before. More than 1 in 10 individuals are now aged 80 or older. This aging demographic is further complicated by a persistently low birth rate. One of the most immediate and concerning effects of this population crisis is the worsening labor shortage. In fact, a recent study reveals that Japan could be facing a shortfall of 11 million workers by 2040. This demographic shift is also a ticking time bomb for Japan's social security system, which is grappling with the immense challenge of supporting a growing retired population with a shrinking workforce contributing to the tax base. The aging population is straining the healthcare system as well. To combat this, the government is pushing for a transition from hospital care to home care, advocating for patient-requested care, self-medication, and remote monitoring. They've even introduced care robots to assist the elderly. However, automating care has not turned out to be the all-encompassing solution Japan envisioned. This demographic challenge demands immediate and innovative solutions to secure Japan's future. Recognizing the urgency of the situation, Japan's Prime Minister Fumio Kishida has vowed to tackle the crisis by creating a new government agency dedicated to this issue. Let's hope they can devise a strategy that delicately balances the challenges of an aging population and a low birth rate. Masuda Rock Ship. In the village of Asuka, in Nara Prefecture, lies a mysterious stone structure known as the Masuda Rock Ship, or locally known as Masuda no Iwafune. This region is renowned for its key-shaped burial mounds from between 250 and 552 AD, but this rock stands out with its unique composition and puzzling origins. As a matter of fact, this monolithic structure is one of the most intriguing historical monuments in Japan and perhaps the entire world. This colossal rock, measuring 36 feet long, 26 feet wide, and 15 feet high, and weighing an astounding 880 tons, is truly a sight to see. Its flattened top and precisely carved square holes catch the eye, while a ridge running parallel to the holes and L-shaped indentations at the base offer clues to the ancient techniques used to shape this massive structure. Historians and archaeologists have noted lattice-shaped impressions at the base of the stone. believed to be related to the methods used by the builders to flatten its sides. Its incredibly hard surface makes its creation even more impressive. It's difficult to scratch even with modern equipment. Hence, how it was done was truly a technical marvel. At first glance, this giant granite block might seem like just another ancient relic in Masuda, a place dotted with burial mounds over 1,000 years old. But unlike those mounds, the rock ship of Masuda does not mark a grave, sparking curiosity and intrigue. Who built it, and for what purpose? To this day, the answers to these questions remain elusive. Some scholars speculate that this colossal structure was meant to mark a grand burial tomb, with the square holes possibly serving as entrances to it, though the work was never finished. However, no tomb or bodies have ever been found. Locals, on the other hand, believe it was used as a Buddhist shrine, although it lacks the typical features of such shrines. Another theory suggests this meticulously carved granite was used for astronomical observation. The ridge aligns with the sunset on a significant farming day that marks the start of the agricultural season, hinting at its potential role in ancient agricultural practices. Another intriguing idea is that it was carved to honor Lake Masuda, which has since vanished due to human development. Whichever theory you find most compelling, it doesn't change the fact that the Masuda Rock Ship is one for the books. Japan's evaporated people. There's a strange phenomenon happening in Japan. Every year, around 90,000 people are reported missing. While most are eventually found or return home, thousands simply vanish without a trace. These disappearances are so common that there's a Japanese term for it, johatsu, meaning evaporation. Many of these individuals meticulously plan their disappearances, severing all ties with their families to start anew in different parts of the country. But why? Japanese culture significantly influences these disappearances. Unlike those who flee from danger or the law, the johatsu escape from their own shame. In a society that highly values conformity, hard work, success, and fidelity, personal failures like losing a job or experiencing a divorce can be viewed as catastrophic. The societal pressure is so intense that some individuals choose to vanish rather than endure the judgment and disappointment of their peers. One of the key destinations for these individuals is Sanya, a town so notorious for attracting society's outcasts that it has been erased from maps. This widespread need to vanish has even spawned a niche industry. Some companies are specialized in helping people disappear without a trace. Often, families of the vanished do not report their loved ones missing due to their own feelings of shame. Whether or not one comprehends the concept of johatsu, it's clear that for many, running away offers a preferable alternative than taking one's life. It presents a glimmer of hope and a chance to start anew, albeit in the shadows. Japan's Great Wall. The Japanese have their own version of the Great Wall of China. It's a 400-kilometer towering concrete wall that stretches along the coast. It's the country's new tsunami defense system, designed to weaken powerful waves and provide precious time for people to evacuate during the next disaster. This monumental piece of concrete in Japan emerged from one of history's most chilling events. The 2011 earthquake and tsunami on Japan's east coast claimed nearly 20,000 lives. The wall stretches from the northern prefecture of Iwate to Fukushima in the south, soaring to heights of 15.5 meters at its tallest points. This colossal project, costing billions of dollars, took years to complete. However, not all residents are pleased with the construction of these towering seawalls. They argue that the walls obstruct their view of the ocean and create a false sense of security. Many believe it's crucial to see a tsunami approaching on the horizon, giving them time to flee to higher ground. Rather than relying solely on concrete and steel, these villagers believe their survival hinges on constant vigilance and their ability to observe the natural signs of impending danger. Nonetheless, the Great Wall of Japan is a stunning feat of engineering, exemplifying humanity's unwavering determination to withstand and overcome even the most devastating disasters. Super toilets. Toilets are a basic part of our daily routines, but in Japan, you can expect comfort rooms to live up to their name and elevate your experience to a whole new level. If you're a tourist in Japan and happen to use one of their restrooms, you'll be surprised to be greeted by a sleek, futuristic device that seems more like something from a sci-fi movie than a bathroom fixture. Once you sit down, the seat adjusts to your body temperature immediately. You can then adjust the water pressure to your liking, choose a gentle bidet or a pulsating spray, and even apply a deodorizer to keep the space smelling fresh. The options don't stop there. You can customize the water temperature and select from various spray patterns, ensuring a perfectly personalized experience every time. And just when you think it couldn't get any better, there's the sound adjustment feature. Whether you prefer a powerful flush or a quieter one, you can choose the sound that suits you best. Indeed, the Japanese people don't settle for less. Imperial Palace Megalith. Tokyo, famous for its modernity, might seem an unlikely place to find ancient megastructures. Yet hidden in plain sight within the Imperial Palace grounds, there's a surprising discovery. The palace, home to the Japanese emperor, is rich in historical significance and cloaked in mystery. The earliest records of the palace date back to 1457 AD, when the formidable warrior Edo Shigetsugu built Edo Castle on this site. Interestingly, some believe that the foundational structures, including its exterior walls, predate the castle. This theory suggests that Edo chose this location because it already had ancient structures, which were then incorporated into the foundations of the newer buildings. The foundations of this structure are made from megalithic blocks, arranged in a polygonal style, similar to those seen in the Mediterranean and South America. This suggests that medieval Japan had the skills to build megalithic structures. However, despite detailed documentation of architecture and construction methods by medieval Japanese, there is no historical record of this specific megalithic style. The megalithic blocks surrounding the castle were assembled without mortar, each as large as a person and precisely squared. Recent excavations have revealed the use of metal clasps, similar to those found in ancient structures in Peru, Bolivia, Egypt, and other regions. These clamps, remnants of which are visible in the carved seats on some of the oldest stonework, were used to anchor the stones securely, ensuring their stability for centuries. This strongly suggests that there was an ancient, intercontinental exchange of building techniques during the construction of the megaliths, likely carried out by a civilization far older than previously thought. Intriguingly, these advanced methods were not used in later constructions, indicating that this architectural knowledge was eventually lost over time. The palace remains shrouded in mystery. Who originally built it? When was it constructed? What purpose did it serve? As of now, these questions remain unanswered, adding to the mysterious allure of this historic site. Few countries capture global attention as powerfully as the small island nation of Taiwan. The reason for this is that two superpowers are vying intensely to gain control over this nation. China has made its intentions clear, openly expressing a willingness to use military force to reclaim the island. On the other hand, the equally powerful US has made a public commitment to defend this small nation if China decides to launch an attack. But beyond its complex geopolitical situation, Taiwan is a beautiful island nation and home to more than 23 million people. On the east coast, the island boasts 3,000-meter-high mountains and dramatic gorges, while fields of rice stretch out with a view of the ocean in between. In the south, the climate is warm and inviting, with an average temperature of 25 degrees Celsius year-round. The area surrounding Kenting National Park attracts countless visitors, drawn by its stunning tropical landscapes. Meanwhile, along the west coast, vast lowlands stretch for miles. Here, communities live in harmony with the sea, relying on it for their livelihoods, harvesting sea salt and farming fish and oysters, sustaining both tradition and economy. Taiwan is an island of extremes. The vibrant metropolis of Taipei, with its millions of residents and ultra-modern infrastructure, sits just 20 kilometers from pristine wilderness. The island boasts a stunning variety of natural landscapes, many of which are uniquely found side by side, making it a true rarity in the world. The nation's strategic location makes it important for two superpowers to gain influence over it. Its main island lies just 130 kilometers from mainland China, and the tiny islands off the coast also fall under Taiwanese control. This is why it's vital for China to gain access to these islands for security purposes. On the flip side, Taiwan occupies a pivotal position within the first island chain, serving as a cornerstone in a network of US allies and partners that stretches from Japan down to the Philippines and into the South China Sea. This strategic location is crucial not only for the region's security, but also for safeguarding vital U.S. interests in the Indo-Pacific, making Taiwan a key player in maintaining the balance of power. The history of this island nation dates back 20,000 to 30,000 years, when lower sea levels transformed the Taiwan Strait into a land bridge. Around 5,000 years ago, farmers from what is now southeastern China made their way to the island. These early settlers, thought to be speakers of Austronesian languages, sparked a cultural migration that spread across the Pacific and Indian Oceans. It's no wonder, then, that this island has produced some of the most groundbreaking archaeological discoveries, reshaping our understanding of human history. So, let's take a journey back in time and explore these incredible discoveries, shall we? Despite being a tiny country, Taiwan hosts one company that secretly rules the world: Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, or TSMC. You might be wondering how this relatively unknown company has so much power. We could perfectly understand if it's Samsung, Apple, or Amazon. But this company's product is everywhere and is the lifeblood of our modern technology: the microchips. From iPhones and air conditioners to smart doorbells, computers, cars, F-35 fighter jets, and even NASA's Perseverance rover on Mars. These TSMC's chips are essential to making it all work. Taiwan is responsible for an astonishing 65% of the world's semiconductor production, and more than 90% of the most advanced chips come from TSMC. Its importance to the global economy cannot be overstated. Without access to TSMC's cutting-edge semiconductors, nations and corporations alike are unable to develop key technologies. This gives the company's choices a far-reaching influence, with the potential to impact not only innovation, but also global security. It's one of only two companies capable of mass-producing chips smaller than 10 nanometers, the other being Samsung. For perspective, a nanometer is 1/1,000,000th of a meter, with transistors, the tiny switches controlling electric currents, measuring 10,000 times thinner than a human hair. The smaller the transistor, the more you can fit on a chip, making it faster and more powerful. To grasp how valuable this company is, the world's biggest tech companies all depend on TSMC: Apple, Intel, Qualcomm, AMD, Nvidia, China's Huawei, and even Tesla. You might wonder, with all the resources at their disposal, why these companies rely on a single provider for such a crucial material. The answer lies in the sheer complexity of crafting semiconductor chips. Though only the size of a fingernail, each chip contains up to 50 billion transistors, the fundamental components that power modern technology. Producing these chips is an incredibly intricate process, one that few can master at the level TSMC does. This company excels in a field where few can compete, holding an unparalleled dominance in this vital and highly intricate technology. While global superpowers like the US and China are ramping up their investments in semiconductor development, TSMC remains firmly at the forefront, unrivaled in its expertise, for now. In ancient Taiwan, there was a peculiar and bold ritual, one that involved the removal of teeth, and no, it wasn't due to dental issues. Tooth ablation, while practiced by various cultures globally, was most famously linked to the early Austronesian communities in Taiwan, Southeast Asia, and Polynesia. This ancient tradition, which began about 4,800 years ago during the Neolithic period, persisted until the early 20th century. It was not a ritual for the faint-hearted. The process required the extraction of perfectly healthy teeth, usually incisors and canines, without the aid of anesthesia. Afterward, the empty sockets were filled with ash to stave off infection and excessive bleeding. The practice wasn't limited to just one gender. Both men and women participated equally. What's more intriguing is that children had their teeth pulled as well. The pain they might have endured to fulfill this ritual would have been unbearable. Researchers are exploring several reasons behind this ancient ritual, with one of the most compelling being its connection to aesthetic expression. Historical texts and more recent accounts suggest that tooth ablation was seen as a way to enhance beauty and assert personal or cultural identity. But this ritual wasn't only about appearance. Researchers believe it may have also been a test of courage. After all, Anyone who's endured serious dental work can understand the bravery involved. Beyond its symbolic significance, the practice had a practical side as well. Historical records from Borneo and accounts from southwestern China suggest that in cases of lockjaw, tooth extraction could be a life-saving measure, enabling the afflicted person to receive food and medicine. Though lockjaw was likely rare, the removal of teeth was seen as a small sacrifice in comparison to the potentially fatal risks it helped avert. This painful procedure was viewed as a crucial step to protect against far more dangerous outcomes. Amid the windswept sand dunes of the northwest coast, in the Guanyin district of western Taoyuan City, an extraordinary discovery has emerged. A 4,000-year-old pottery handle shaped like a snake, expertly crafted to resemble a cobra poised to strike. This intricate relic likely served as the handle of a larger vessel or ceremonial jar. Snakes have long slithered through the myths, religions, and literature of ancient cultures, carrying deep symbolic meaning. Their shedding of skin was seen as much more than a biological process. It was a powerful emblem of transformation. This act of renewal became a profound metaphor for the cycle of life and death, the mysteries of reproduction, and the ever-present forces of change. While researchers can't determine the artifact's exact purpose, it's possible that it once served as a sacred tool for ancient shamans, used to perform rituals that bridged the natural and spiritual realms. In the flickering glow of ceremonial fires, this object may have played a central role, where animal imagery wasn't merely decorative, but a vital link to the forces the tribe revered. Throughout history, mothers have consistently demonstrated deep love for their children. A powerful example of this is a 4,800-year-old fossil discovered in Taichung, Taiwan, depicting a mother tenderly cradling her infant and gazing down at them with love. Researchers were astonished by the discovery of this intimate maternal moment, which they believe represents the earliest evidence of human activity in central Taiwan. When the relics were unearthed, the entire archaeological team was left in awe. Why? The mother was gazing down at the baby cradled in her hands, a powerful and emotional snapshot from the Stone Age that transcended time. Based on estimates, the mother stood at a gentle height of roughly 5 feet 2 inches. Cradled in her arms, the infant measured barely over 1.5 feet. Although it's not yet known what happened during their final moments. The bodies were carefully laid to rest in the customary north-south alignment. Yet, unlike the others buried at the site, they were placed on their backs, not face down. In a touching detail, the mother's head is gently tilted to the right, her gaze falling upon the infant cradled in her arms. A tender moment preserved in skeletal form, even after 5,000 years. Divers made a remarkable discovery off the northeast coast of Taiwan, a massive deep-sea oarfish. These elusive creatures inhabit the mesopelagic zone, residing between 200 and 1,000 meters below the ocean's surface, which makes encounters exceedingly rare. Its discovery caused quite a stir, fueled by its ominous reputation. In Japanese folklore, the oarfish is known as the messenger from the sea god's palace, and is often seen as a harbinger of disaster. According to local legend, the appearance of an oarfish signals the approach of natural calamities like tsunamis or earthquakes. This belief was further cemented when 6 oarfish were sighted just days before the devastating 2017 earthquake in southern Philippines. Similarly, in the days leading up to the catastrophic 2011 Tohoku earthquake and the Fukushima nuclear disaster, several of these elusive creatures were also spotted, adding to their reputation as harbingers of disaster. What sets the oarfish apart is its remarkable ability to grow over 50 feet in length, making it the longest bony fish in the world. Its massive serpentine form is believed to have sparked the sea serpent myths that have woven their way through folklore for centuries. However, their scary reputation might be a bit unfair to these creatures. In reality, oarfish often surface not as omens of catastrophe, but because of illness or weakness. As their health deteriorates, ocean currents carry them upward, which is why they are frequently discovered lifeless upon reaching the surface. Who would have imagined that a small island nation once hosted a previously unknown human species thousands of years ago? Yet, This became reality when scientists uncovered the country's first ancient human fossil, a nearly intact right lower jaw with primitive-looking teeth. This remarkable discovery, found near the seafloor, suggests that a primitive group of humans, possibly an entirely unknown species, once roamed Asia, rewriting the story of human evolution in the region. The fossil was unexpectedly pulled from the seafloor by a fishing net, at depths of 60 to 120 meters beneath the Penghu Channel, located roughly 25 kilometers off Taiwan's western coast. During the last ice age, when sea levels were much lower, this channel was actually part of the Asian mainland, adding even more historical significance to the find. The fossil, now known as Penghu, likely belonged to a hominin that lived between 10,000 and 190,000 years ago. What intrigued researchers most was how surprisingly primitive the jaw and teeth appeared for their age. During the Pleistocene epoch, which spanned from 2.6 million years ago to about 11,700 years ago, humans typically evolved smaller, more delicate jaws and teeth. Yet this fossil from Taiwan stood out, with a jaw that was larger and more robust than even older Homo erectus specimens found in Java and northern China. Researchers note that the Penghu fossil closely resembles a 400,000-year-old specimen from Hexian southern China. These findings suggest the existence of a distinct group of archaic humans, potentially revealing a previously unknown chapter in the story of human evolution. It's well known that Taiwan is the homeland of Austronesian-speaking groups, but other populations lived there as far back as the Pleistocene. Traditionally, it was believed that Paleolithic hunter-gatherers were either replaced or absorbed by Neolithic Austronesian farmers. One discovery, however, points to a hunter-gatherer population that lived in Taiwan for tens of thousands of years before the arrival of the Austronesian people. A cranial study of human remains from the Shaoma caves in eastern Taiwan provides the first evidence of small-stature hunter-gatherers who lived during the Preceramic phase. Before this discovery, the existence of short, dark-skinned Negrito people living in the mountains was thought to be nothing more than a centuries-old myth. According to the old accounts, they spoke their own distinct language and married only within their own community. The skull unearthed belonged to a woman whose distinctive cranial features and small stature closely resembled those of indigenous Southeast Asians, particularly the Negritos of northern Luzon in the Philippines. Her femur bones revealed that this young woman stood at just under 4 feet 6 inches tall. The scientists suggest that the Negrito population descended from the earliest waves of anatomically modern humans to reach Taiwan. These hunter-gatherers bore a closer resemblance to Africans than to Eurasians, who represent the second layer of inhabitants on the island. While researchers remain uncertain about the fate of this ancient group, they speculate that the arrival of the Austronesian peoples may have contributed to the decline and eventual disappearance of the Negritos in Taiwan. If you're interested to know more about the rich history of other countries, be sure to watch our next video. Hope you like our story. Catch you in the next one.